Dear colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to present the results of our research in Lithuania. It also was a part of Russian Scientific Foundation project. And the focus of our study was acculturation of Russian ethnic minority in Lithuania. The aim of our study was to test the three hypotheses of intercultural relations. I think I should not repeat these hypotheses. They were the multiculturalism hypothesis, the contact hypothesis, and the integration hypothesis. And in our study, we tested theoretical model, perceived security. We proposed that perceived security will be related to multicultural ideology and ethnic tolerance, and contacts will be related to integration strategy, and integration strategy will promote life satisfaction and self-esteem of Russians. But in our model, we added assimilation as a possible way of acculturation of Russians in this country. And the aim was to test the relationship between intercultural contacts and assimilation strategy. And another research question was how assimilation strategy will be related to indicators of subjective well-being, such as life satisfaction and self-esteem. Lithuania is one of 3 post-Soviet Baltic countries. Total population is about 3 million. And Lithuanian context is characterized by ethnic homogeneity. The largest ethnic minority are Poles, and the second largest minority are Russians. Lithuanian Russians live mostly in the cities, and most of them, 40% of the total Russian population in Lithuania, live in Vilnius. Here you can see the ethnic map of Lithuania. Russians and Poles live in the east of Lithuania, and in some parts of Vilnius region, Poles are a numeric majority. Lithuania has a long history of coexistence of different ethnic groups, and the main difference between Lithuania and Estonia and Latvia, that Lithuania, after it regained independence, chose 0 option in citizenship policy. Majority and minority relations. Lithuanian sociologists found that the ethnic understanding of nation has deep roots in this country, whereas the civic understanding of the concept is relatively rare. And the consequences are that there is an unequal distribution of power among ethnic groups, low minority participation in politics and government, social economic inequalities and differences are not very striking among most ethnic groups, although ethnic Lithuanians' participation in the labor market is better than other groups. Our sample consisted of 290 Russians, and data was gathered in Vilnius, in the capital of Lithuania, and Vilnius region. We used measures from MIRIPS project, from MIRIPS questionnaire, and here you can see examples of the items. For example, perceived security. A person's chances of living a safe, untroubled life are better today than even before. Intercultural contacts included number and frequency of contacts. Ethnic tolerance. It is good to have people from different ethnic groups living in the same country. Multicultural ideology. A society that has a variety of ethnic and cultural groups is more able to tackle new problems as they occur. We used measures from Acculturation strategy scale. It is important to me to be fluent both in Lithuanian and in Russian. It's integration. I prefer social activities which involve Lithuanians only. It's assimilation strategy. We used 4 items from Dinner's satisfaction with life scale. So far I have got the important things I want in life. And 4 items from Rosenberg's self-esteem scale. I am able to do things as well as most other people. And here you can see means and standard deviations of the main variables and correlations between these variables. So look at the rows number 5 and 6. Here presented means in integration and assimilation. As you can see, integration is more preferable strategy for Russians in Lithuania, and it is a very good indicator of acculturation of Russians. Now we can analyze the correlations. Contacts and perceived security correlates positively. It means that there is an absence of perceived threat in interethnic contacts between Russians and Lithuanians. As for the outcomes of integration and assimilation strategies, we can see that integration positively correlated with multicultural ideology and ethnic tolerance. Assimilation negatively correlated with these measures. We can see here that integration strategy was positively correlated with self-esteem, and assimilation strategy negatively correlated with self-esteem. The next table presents the standardized regression coefficients of the model. We used structural equation modeling also in our study. And perceived security did not relate it to multicultural ideology, ethnic tolerance, and integration. It means that multiculturalism hypothesis was not supported in this sample. Contacts were positively related to integration and assimilation. So contact hypothesis was supported in this sample. And for integration, we found positive relationships with self-esteem, and for assimilation, the relationship was negative, but it did not achieve significance level. So, in summary, we can see that perceived security did not relate to multicultural ideology and ethnic tolerance. This hypothesis was not supported, and the same results was for Russians in Latvia. The difference is between the result of correlation between contacts and perceived security. In Latvia, in Russian sample, there was no correlation, and in Latvian sample, correlation was negative. Contact hypothesis supported. Intercultural contacts positively related to integration and assimilation, and we can say that intercultural contacts promotes these two strategies. And integration hypothesis was supported partially, because only integration was positively related to self-esteem of Russians. If we think about the difference the main difference between assimilation and integration. This difference is on the axis of ethnic culture maintenance, because in contacts these two strategies are very similar. And from our result, we can do the conclusion that ethnic culture maintenance might promote self-esteem of ethnic minorities. And I think it is the main result of our study. Thank you.